What is a sign? A sign can be anything. A picture, an instruction, a word, a mark, a painting, an object. Signs are defined by human conventions. By conventions, I mean practices and usage. A sign has no connection to the physical events of the world outside of itself. A cross mark inside a red circle has nothing to do with parking or not parking your physical car on a particular street. It is highly probable that an alien being from Mars will not understand that no parking sign, because to understand a sign, you need to belong to that system, that culture, that universe, from where the sign comes from. Signs are also not ideas in my head. They are concrete objects that have a definite being in a particular system of signs. Each sign must be repeatable and identifiable as the same sign. The word tree is a sign. The use of it in one sentence is similar to its use in another sentence. However, if the author of that sentence suddenly decides to use the word tree to mean the sea, for instance, then the word tree ceases to be a sign in this context. All forms of human communication uses signs. There can be no communication if there is no sign usage. Now, Derrida's key claim is that a sign and its meaning are members of both the diachronic or temporal series, that signs occurrences, and the synchronic or simultaneous pattern of related signs in the language. Let's look at the word marriage. It is a sign in a certain system of signs, in this case, a system that all English speakers belong to. But the word marriage has many associations. An alliance, hence associations of property, kingdom, war, kinship. A holy union, hence associations of religion, being blessed by a religious institution, approval of an authority, a divine approval. It has legal associations, like the signing of a bond. It is tinged by all the meanings I have heard attributed to it and all the meanings that it had in its past. It has accumulated meanings over the past. It has a history. That is the diachronic line. But it also exists in its current context, the synchronic line. Tom and Mary will get married in Times Square on Wednesday night. It is easy to assume that the context here is of today, that is modern times. Hence the associations are contextual. Showy, husband, wife, partner, friend, romance, Instagram. How can you use the word marriage without suggesting all of its absent meanings? But if you set out to suggest all the absent signs to the sign you're intending to highlight, you will perhaps make no sense. To communicate meaningfully, you need to suppress all of the other meanings that the sign marriage stands for, and thus create a hierarchy between all the associated signs of a sign. To make sense, you need to make the meaning you intend to be primary, the hierarchically superior sign. Thus, words and signs can never fully summon forth what they mean, but can only be defined through appeal to additional words from which they differ. Meaning is forever deferred or postponed through an endless chain of signifiers. Every word has an aura about it, a trail of absent signs it carries with it. Moreover, signs generate more signs because each sign is the sign of another sign. And to make meaning, I have to suppress all the unwanted meanings. Hence originated Derrida's famous proclamation, every statement spoken or written is a lie, and there is nothing outside the text. In other words, there is nothing without context. Jacques Derrida is perhaps the most influential philosopher of the 20th century. He was born Algerian and came of age in the 1960s. Derrida's philosophical treatise of Deconstruction has had a defining impact on modern thought and on all forms of human communication, of the visual, verbal, written, and that of architecture and space. Why do we need to understand Derrida? For many reasons, but primarily because it is ultimately a quest for pure language, a spot of limited freedom, but one that is made of pure meaning.